Hey everyone, Emilee Amara here with Wild and Rooted. Some call me the Herbal Esthetician. And today I wanted to talk about Calendula. Calendula officinalis. I'm here in my garden and I'm in 10A, Los Angeles. And so Calendula grows very well here. And it's already been going to seed and new plants have been forming. So we have some baby sprouts coming up. I've deadheaded the plant as well. And so if you do that throughout the year, you'll get more and more blooms, which is always really fun. You do have to kind of take that initial sacrificial bloom and then you get so many more. So what can I tell you about calendula? The word, I remember volunteering at a farm here in Los Angeles a long time ago called One Gun Ranch. And it was there that I learned the root or the etymology of calendula, which was something to do with a calendar, because of the growing season and because they are so easily, they grow so easy and they'll just continue to bloom throughout the calendar year, right? So little clock or little calendar is the etymology of the word. And also officinalis is something that means it was an official plant a long time ago in the pharmacopoeia of medicine. And so calendula has been used for a long time for herbal medicine. And one of the things that I love about it so much and what it's so popular for is for the skin. And calendula has an affinity for the skin. And when I say an affinity, I mean that there have been lots of studies done on this plant, actually using it in trials with medicine from hospitals or aloe vera, for instance, and it continually wins many clinical trials for being a skin soother and a skin healer. So obviously as an esthetician, I find this plant to be quite fascinating, and it's also very gentle in the way that it works. It's safe for baby. That was one of the studies done for diaper rash. It's a very common herbal medicine for diaper rash and for soothing the bums of babies who've been sitting in a little bit of urine in a diaper. And so it basically stimulates the fibroblasts to produce collagen and elastin and to heal the skin, right? So to promote the healing response of the skin. And that's internally as well, externally and internally. I know that traditionally a lot of people have used this plant for lymphatic support, but it's not really a strong lymphatic herb. But I think because of its anti-inflammatory qualities and soothing capabilities, I feel that it really helps the body in stimulating that kind of healthy immune response for healing, right? And as we know, our lymphatic system is part of our detoxification pathway, and so this can kind of help to support that process while it's happening in a really anti-inflammatory, soothing way. This is in the Asteraceae family or the daisy family, where echinacea belongs as well. So it does have some mild antimicrobial effects, and possibly antispasmodic. I know it's antifungal. I know that it also has these beautiful colors. Some are more orange than others, but you do get this beautiful orange yellow color. And so what you're looking at is actually carotenoids, which are antioxidants. And so lutein is a really beautiful carotenoid antioxidant. It's wonderful for the eyes, okay? And it can be eaten. You can make a tincture, you can make a salve of calendula. There's a lot of different ways of making calendula medicine. I actually do prefer to just remove the petals and eat them. You can throw them into a salad if you want, or you can top them with on top of your eggs. There's a really beautiful way to have calendula. And if you harvest them at the right time, right when they are first blooming, like I would say late morning, you're gonna get a lot of resin on the actual bud. And that's a wonderful thing. That's what you want. Those are triterpenoids or saponins, and that's where you get a lot of that antifungal medicine. And so that's part of what is going to be helping the skin to heal and to soothe. Slightly better, these blooms are a little bit older, but I do think that this would be lovely in a digestive formula as well. And there's just so many uses for calendula and so many applications and ways of working with calendula, you know, making it as, like I said, a tea, a salve, a tincture. I do want to mention that because of the resin in this plant, a lot of people like to make infused oils. And I certainly made my first beginner oil many, many moons ago with calendula until I learned about the intermediary solvent. And so you can actually do a double extraction of calendula. And you can take a bud just like this, spray it with some alcohol and let it dry out for a few days, and then place it into your oil. Maybe cut it up and then infuse it into your oil. And so that way you're getting the alcohol soluble compounds as well as the oil soluble compounds as well. You know, there's a little bit of water in that alcohol, right? So we're using the alcohol to take out some of those compounds and then mix them into the oil. So that way you get kind of like this really beautiful double extraction. So I love this plant. I think it's just so amazing. One of my favorite ways to work with it is on the scalp and the skin. So I have recently made a scalp treatment or a hair oil as well. And so I did the double extraction with the calendula blooms with alcohol, and I put them into oil. I used jojoba oil as well as almond seed oil, and I added rosemary and I added lavender as well, and I made this really beautiful hair and scalp treatment with calendula. So sometimes I will also come out here and just, you know, to add a little bit of color, I'll use the petals in my salad for toppings, little garnishes. I think it's really fun. And I also wonder about this beautiful vibrant color and how if you sit with this plant, what kind of information you'll really get about maybe your solar plexus, maybe taking back your power, right? Maybe if you have more of an orange bloom, thinking about your creativity, your sexuality, your sacral. Sometimes when I like to sit with plants, I think that the color resonates in a certain area of the body, right? So here we have calendula, and I also have a bloom that is totally spent that I'm gonna pull off because I want to show you how fun the seeds are, and you can dry them and save them, or you can just let them go to seed and they can self-sow in your garden. But they're really, really kind of fun, and I've always loved the way that they looked, kind of very similar to like a little worm. Don't they look like little insects? So these are the seeds right here, and it's almost like they don't look like your typical seed, but here they are, like these little baby snakes or little insects. Do you see these, how they look? So those are the actual calendula seed, and I actually do think that I'm just gonna continue to spread them around and have calendula growing all year round. It is such a beautiful plant, and I'm looking forward to working with calendula more. I think that there's a lot of wonderful studies of it being a beautiful soothing, you know, ointment or salve. Like I said, I really like it for eye health, that lutein. And thanks so much for joining me today and for listening to me talk about one of my favorite flowers in skin health. This is a beautiful vulnerary plant named Calendula officinalis. Thanks so much. See you next time.